Hey, I'm Tracii Guns from L.A Guns, and this is how I head rush. I start with a reissue 1959 Les Paul with DiMarzio PAF pickups, which don't color your sound too much and doesn't cover up your personality and mush. And then we take this and we go into the HeadRush. And what we have here is my basic Plexi Marshall setup with all the stuff, let's say Jimmy Page would have, or Joe Walsh, which is a phase shifter and a univibe and some kind of overdrive pedals, probably similar to Tube Screamer kind of thing. 1969 stock Plexi into a more modern 30 watt Celestion speaker cab emulator. And I always leave this delay on right here, which is like a stereo ping pong delay, which is really just for live. It just kind of fills out the stage if you're on a carpeted stage or something like that. It gives you a little bit of ambience. I really don't use reverb live. And then I have a big giant delay, and I'll show you how all this stuff works. So let's start with some L.A. Guns music. On our new record, we have a song called The Flood's the Fault of the Rain. And on that song, I recorded a Hammond B3, but we don't have anybody in the band that plays B3, so I just kind of mimic it with the guitar, and this is what that sounds like with the Marshall on, with my volume pedal all the way back, which is really only goes back to 50%. So, you have this to that. You get that dynamic. So for the intro of the song, it's... So that's also the same sound I would use it on like the intro to Ballad of Jane, which is... So it gives it, and it is a Leslie effect, which is, the speaker that is associated with, a B3 or whatever. So I use that for the clean stuff. Anything in the key of G major, that works great. So what happens when I want to get heavier in both of those songs, obviously I turn the rotary off because you don't want to be playing bar chords all and then I'll fade in with the volume, and you get... down, and it's back into Cleanville. So what I'm really doing here is this is just a basic Marshall, and with this I'm controlling the input gain of the guitar basically, which I also do on my main rig, which I'm going to show you next. But we can go through what's going on here. So univibe is like if you want to be all Hendrixy, which we all want to be all Hendrixy most of the time. Let's give a little bit more dirt. That's what a univibe does, and the HeadRush nails it. It's perfect. It's exactly as it should be. If we're getting into Van Halen 1 land, then we turn the phase 90 on, and you want to play Atomic Punk, it's right there. So that's what those effects do. Those are the only effects I use. Sometimes I use my octave thing, which is it on? Yeah. I set it to momentary, but anyways. Let's see, I'm going to go into hardware mode. Hardware assign, and I have that on the hold, and I'm switching it to toggle. That quick, don't even need to save it, you go back. There it is. So that's fun for I don't do that live, but I do it at sound check every day, so I have to have that pedal. Okay, so that's like your basic, 1970 ultimate setup. It's a 100-watt plexi with a distortion pedal, which I never use, but you got to have one in case you want like extra sustain. 2 delays. Here's the big delay. I didn't show you the big delay, which is just. Pretty basic rig, but you can do all that stuff with just that. That's just that. So to save your changes, you just click save and save, and it won't even let you go to another patch until you hit save, which is a great feature. So then we go into Insanity, which is L.A. Guns land, Tracii's main rig. Same thing, this pedal just cuts the gain down. So if I need to get clean, I don't need to switch patches. I have it all in my volume control. I have the same exact effects on this patch, and it comes in. Awesome. And the only thing that's different about this patch is the amp head, which is not a plexi. It is an 89 SL100 extended range, which to me just means that sounds like God, dude. I love that amp. Because for L.A. Guns, we kind of have a specific sound live, and that is that amp right there in stereo. And how I make it stereo is I don't even split, because you can literally split your thing here, and you can do stereo that way, or the last thing in line is my stereo delay, and it's a ping pong delay, and I leave it on all the time live, which I have a feeling some people would think that's obnoxious, but you don't really hear it in the audience. I really only hear it on stage. It just gives me that extra mush so I can cheat, So those are my tricks. That's what I got. That's how I head rush.